I'm a doctor.
I'm a PhD in psychology.
Physics graduate, Beijing U.
You've been touched by the fist of God.
The doctor is coming for 1 month. If the doctor chooses to stay here, we gets the factory.
Put down your Timmy, step away from that hockey stick. There's another way you can express your Canadian pride today. Check out a homegrown movie. It's the 2nd annual National Canadian Film Day. Our Yelena Adzik joins us from the Royal Cinema in Toronto. So tell us more about this special day and your special guest.
Yes, Diana, you can see I have a huge smile on my face because this man has been making me laugh all afternoon. This is my special guest. Everybody recognizes the face and the eyebrows, I think.
Well, yeah.
And now they recognize the voice as well. So actor Peter Callahan is the voice of National Canadian Film Day, which is today. And of course, it features so many movies being screened right across the country, including The Grand Seduction, of course, the movie that you star in. But let me just give me the voice, right? Earlier, you teased me and you didn't give it to me. You cracked and you squeaked. I know you're just joking. Please give me a sense of that baritone.
Well, Lauren Green wasn't available. So they called on me.
Yes, yes.
So watch Canadian films. It's something like that. I think that's what I did.
All right, well, listen, let's talk about Grand Seduction because this was the movie that was voted the audience favorite. They wanted it to be screened the most. It's 15 times going to be screened across the country. Why is this so special for you?
Well, I mean, outside of doing it with Gordon Pinson and Mark Critch and, you know, all my really favorite people in the world, it's fun because it's the kind of thing that turned out so well. We do a lot of things with Real Canada, this really worthy thing that has created this National Canadian Film Day. But we went to schools and new immigrants and we said, you know, do you think this film looks Canadian? And outside of the fact that it takes place in Newfoundland with Canadian sensibility, people couldn't tell, you know. And I defy anybody in the same genre to say that, you know, the Americans or the British have better directors than Don McKellar or Sarah Polley or Adam Egoyan.
Yeah.
You know, we hold our own.
Yeah.
I think our only problem is that, you know, we make 12 films a year or dozens of films a year, and the Americans make hundreds of films a year. So it's, you know, it's hard to keep up.
Well, and it's not easy, right? Obviously, the future is going towards a lot more content. We can't really control it and control the Canadian content. So this is a really great way to certainly remind people that we need to celebrate and be proud and watch our own films. Is this something that maybe scares you a little bit, worries you about the future, that there are going to be fewer and fewer opportunities for Canadian movies to get out there?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think, you know, with the government we have now, we probably have vision for tar sands and monarchy and fighter jets, but we don't necessarily have vision for culture. And I like to compare it to the housing industry. You know, right now, 90% of our houses are made by, you know, foreign people. And it's the same way with our film industry. You know, 90% of the stuff that we watch, that we intake, is foreign made. Mm-hmm. But we make houses every bit as good as anybody else does, you know, and I like to call it fast food culture. You know, it's glitzy, it's addictive, but it's ultimately not very nourishing.
So tell us a little bit about how you feel that today, the state of Canadian movies, what is it that you feel makes it quintessentially Canadian? Is there something you can put your pulse on just really quickly?
Well, I think the old adage was that, you know, it had to be stamped with a Canadian flag or a beaver in the corner, and that's really not the case anymore. I think more and more we're getting these just great stories. That's all it is. It's great stories. It doesn't have to be stamped Canadian. It just happens to take place in Canada with the sensibilities that we have, whether it be, you know, healthcare or anything else. It's just who and what we are, and the locales and the Newfoundland accents, or the people in BC, or what's going on in Calgary, and et cetera, or Quebec. I mean, you know, it's a mosaic, and we need to celebrate that.
And we do. And if you can get a chance to watch a movie today, I just wanted to mention quickly that cbc.ca/arts is where you can find out a lot more info. Peter, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have an awesome National Canadian Film Day.
Watch a Canadian film.
There you go. Back to you.
Thanks, Yelena.